Hey guys, welcome back to Think Beautiful, the channel where I discuss the debacle that is Meghan Markle. And in today's episode, we are going to take a look at a review of all of Meghan Markle's new as ever products because it's sounding like they are crap as ever. This is the review from Daily Mail. Now, we did already hear about the raspberry spread. I did a video on that as well. But in this review, we're going to hear about all of the other products. So, all of the teas, the honey, the elusive honey, which I didn't think even existed, the mixes, the flour sprinkles, everything. But before we get started, let's take a look at the video because you can see the facial expressions as they try some of these products for the first time. Okay, so they're blindfolded. They're trying her raspberry spread. Whoa, he says. Doesn't even smell good. Tart, seedy. It's kind of sour. Tastes kind of like I don't know, it tastes gross. Tastes like syrup, like something you'd put on a McDonald's sundae. It's barely even a jam, more like a sugar sauce. Yeah, so maybe not the best results so far. I think one person said it wasn't bad, but yeah, not looking good, Meghan Markle. Did she do any testing? Is the question. And did she listen to any feedback from the testing? Is the second part of that question. But let's get started on this article. Okay. This is by Jane Hers, and she says, I bought all 8 of Meghan Markle's As Ever range. Here's why they're a massive rip-off. Oh, wow. And the product I could not stand. Off to a great start. I love this already. After nearly a year of anticipation, Meghan Markle has finally unveiled her As Ever product line to the world. But was it really worth the wait? The short answer, not really. Oh, she would not be happy with this, you guys. Now, let me just preface this by explaining that I really wanted to like these products. So, this girl was a fan. I actually think that Megan has impeccable style. Okay, she's definitely a fan. This is shocking. And I'll admit, I did cave and buy her gel nail polish colors off her new Shop Me. Shop, whatever, Shop Me. It should just be called Shop Me. Okay, off her Shop My page. All right. So this girl is a diehard fan. So this is even more shocking, really. I have been excited for the launch ever since she sent my idol, Kris Jenner, a jar of her homemade jam last year under the old brand name American Riviera Orchard. Now, a few things wrong in that sentence. That is her idol. Kris Jenner is your idol. She exploits her kids. Oh my goodness. And that post that Kris Jenner did of the American Riviera Orchard, that was probably will go down in history as the worst post you could ever do. The bruised lemons, it was just an afterthought. That was, oh my gosh. Okay, so this is where this woman's coming from. She's coming from a place of love for Meghan Markle and Kris Jenner, by the way. And after watching With Love Megan on Netflix, I was looking forward to the product launch even more. Now, that doesn't make any sense after watching that show that you would want to see more, taste more. No, that's so wrong. Wow. After seeing that gorgeous rented kitchen on TV, I was waiting to mimic the magic of Montecito in my New York City studio apartment. I'd much rather live in a New York City studio apartment than in Montecito, as she promised in her recent newsletter. Okay. The newsletter is just like a one pager, by the way. Female managed to get our hands on all 8 sold out products to put them to the test, including the oversold wildflower honey that was nearly impossible to buy. Literally did not even know it existed. It was the last item in our order to arrive despite expediting it. Okay, something has gone wrong with the honey for sure. I can't wait to hear all about it once people start talking from behind the scenes. But as we tested of the products in her as ever line, nothing really stood out as especially worth it or special, which we all know, guys. This is just packaging. She's just focused on the packaging. We felt like the baking mixes were tedious, of course, and difficult to make, kind of like Meghan Markle, difficult, while the jam proved to be more of a dessert sauce than a raspberry spread. So, without further ado, here is Female's official ranking as we share what's actually worth buying and what you can leave behind in a shopping cart in Montecito. Okay, so this is in order from worst to best. Okay, so we are starting with number 8 and we're starting with the teas. So the teas are at the bottom of the list. Okay, spoiler alert. Look at the packaging though. I mean, it's just beige. There's nothing to it. It honestly, that could be that could be toilet paper from afar. It really looks like something you wouldn't eat basically, maybe a candle. Okay, now here is a shot. Trigger warning. Here is a shot of the first tea. Now I'm not going to say anything there. I just don't think that looks like something you would drink. Look, I get it. It's a tea bag, but it's not looking good so far in this context. So the one that they did not like the most was the herbal hibiscus tea. It was $12. By far, the worst product that the Duchess is selling under the As Ever brand, according to dailymail.com, is her hibiscus tea. In fact, we felt so strongly about it that we would recommend she completely stop making this kind of tea and pivot to a new flavor. Stop, Meghan Markle, stop. Stop the conveyor belt. Press that red button on the side of the conveyor belt, that emergency stop button, okay? Oh, wow. The tea arrived in a cute, well, just a standard tea tin 9-ounce can, complete with the signature gold branding and palm tree logo, and came with 12 sachets. Oh my gosh, 12, 12 sachets? That doesn't sound like much. How much do you usually get in a tin? More than 12? Surely at least 15, 20? Gosh, this is such a rip-off. Meghan Markle's such a fraud. The one highlight of this product was the sachets it came in, which appeared to be packaged in chic nylon baggies, giving it an elevated look compared to regular paper tea bags that you would find in everyday brands. Now, I think that's pretty standard when it comes in a tea tin like that, to be honest. Yeah, okay, look at that. It just looks like a spread, doesn't it? On the back of the jar, Megan shared that she liked to let the tea steep in a mason jar. We've all heard this one, outside in the sun. But unfortunately, since we're in a corporate office and not a sprawling California backyard, we didn't get the chance to do that. However, we did follow the rest of her in directions as we poured boiling water into a mug and let the tea bag steep for 7 minutes because she tells you how to make the tea, which is just ridiculous. Unfortunately, we wished we had stopped there. Oh, this is not going to taste good then, is it? Before we even took a sip, the tea had turned a bright red color, which was rather alarming. Reminds me of alarming baldness. This is alarming redness, which could also be Harry, by the way. The tea itself was extremely bitter. Oh, gross. Tasting with bitter tasting with heavy notes of floral, with one taste tester comparing it to drinking lip balm. Oh, wow. That's disgusting. It tasted like dirty dishwater. One female writer shared. All the flavor was in the smell somehow. It was the idea of a flavor. Oh, Meghan Markle is the idea of a flavor. Some of us couldn't even bear to swallow it. Oh, am I reading this right? And one person even spat it back into the cup. Oh my gosh, where is that video? We need that video. Safe to say, female was not a fan of the hibiscus tea as it had a stronger scent than taste. Oh, someone spat it out. That's so good. Oh, Meghan Markle, what are you doing? So that was the worst. Okay, that is number 8. The second worst, okay, number 7 on the list. The herbal peppermint tea. Again, $12. The as ever herbal peppermint tea had all of the same features as the hibiscus tea, but just with a different flavor. Oh, crap times two. It came in the same size box with 12 sachets. Yeah, we get it. Now, the peppermint tea wasn't necessarily as terrible as the hibiscus. Is that a compliment? But it had the same problem. It tasted like the idea of a mint tea. Oh my gosh, Meghan Markle has used the cheapest stuff. This is really obvious, okay? She just told us in her Fortune interview that she likes to elevate things. What that means is buy crud and dress it up with packaging. It's exactly what she's done. The idea of a mint tea. When we held up the tea to your mouth before taking a sip, we were immediately hit with a huge whiff of peppermint, but the tea itself tasted pretty bland. Yeah, this is cheap stuff. The tea failed. It might even have like like an essence like dripped over it. Like it's not actually the tea leaves. It's like something that they've just added after. The tea failed to leave a peppermint flavor lingering in our mouths and was just quite a weak taste all around. Oh, Meghan Markle. Has she done any tasting? I really don't think she has. This is really bad. Herbal lemon ginger tea. Okay, so this is number 6. So there you go. All the teas are the worst. I don't think she should have done tea. There was no need to do tea. I didn't think she was going to do tea. This came from nowhere. Similar to the other 2 teas, the herbal lemon ginger tea was lacking in strength because it's cheap stuff, but it had the best flavor compared to the peppermint and hibiscus. The herbal ginger lemon tea was definitely lighter on the lemon side and a bit heavier on the ginger, but not in a way that was overwhelming. Okay, so it doesn't sound too bad. Okay, so here's Meghan Markle. I think this is when she was drinking that one with her bestie, Daniel, who does her makeup and is on her payroll, didn't get invited to the wedding. She doesn't even know that he's left-handed and he just compliments her, which is why she keeps him around. There's a bit of a backstory for you. It tasted like a nice blend of the 2 ingredients, but again, it wasn't super flavorful. It definitely wasn't terrible, but we think that for $12, there are definitely other teas to consider. Yeah, other brands, like a million other brands of tea. Like, I'm pretty sure tea is the most popular drink in the entire world. Meghan Markle, don't even try to enter that market, all right? You're only going to fail, as ever. However, if Megan were to keep one tea out of the 3, please don't. She should definitely stick with this one. We drank it hot, but it would taste nice with some ice in it during the summer too. Okay. Well, I mean, you've just ranked it like number 6. So you obviously don't like it. We're not going to buy it. We get it. It's disgusting. They're all disgusting. This was the least disgusting of the 3. Okay, so tea so far for Meghan Markle is a big bow bow, not going well. Okay, terrible idea, Meghan. Next up, number 5. We have, and this is not good. This is meant to be a key item. All right, the flour sprinkles, okay, aka the rabbit food, because I can't tell the difference. Guys, they look the same. They look the same. That bunny actually doesn't look like he's enjoying it, to be honest. He doesn't look like he's enjoying his as ever flour sprinkles. Look at his face. He's kind of scowling. He's kind of looking at me weird. Okay. These are $15. You get 5 grams, by the way. And also, can I just say, they come with a clear lid. Now, I did some research, okay, which just means I Googled something, right? It took 2 seconds. But you shouldn't have these in the light. I mean, they're going to be crunchy and they're already dead, okay? But they're going to go even more crunchy and more disgusting if they see light. That tin, there's no point putting it in a tin to keep it fresh if it has a clear lid like that. So this is just a joke from the start. Okay, she's having a laugh. She wants it to go disgusting, so that you buy another one. And also look at the label. It's just stuck on by kids, maybe. Who knows? Okay. If you've watched even 1 minute of Megan's show on Netflix, you would know that flour sprinkles are her thing. Yes, unfortunately, I did, and they are. Perhaps even more than her jam. I will agree. This was her favorite thing. I think she wanted to be like the flour sprinkle girl that just comes along and just makes everyone happy with her flour sprinkles, like she's some little hippie or something. This just hasn't played out like that. Throughout the series, she loves to put these sprinkles, which are essentially a colourful mix of dried out flour pieces, on everything she does. Things that don't even need them. And not only did Megan use the flour sprinkles to top her frosted donuts and yogurt parfaits, but she also used it to garnish tea sandwiches and crudité platters, which is just nonsense. That is just ridiculous. You would just have to brush it off. You've just put $15 worth of dead flowers on your food that you're just like, oh, no, I can't eat it, basically. She's just delusional. Since these sprinkles were really the star, oh, because Meghan Markle wasn't, of With Love Meghan, she decided to sell her own for $15. The first thing that really struck us here was the price. You can find similar products on Amazon for under $10 or even on Etsy. So true. They're everywhere, and you can get like a huge bag as well. Meghan's are sold in a compact, that means small, gold, uh, 17 gram or 0.17 gram jar with a clear top, like I said, not a good idea, so that customers can immediately get a peek into the sprinkles. That's not a good enough reason for my liking. It's worth noting that the package of sprinkles wasn't quite filled to the top because she's a tight ass, because she's a fraud. She's ripping you off, guys. More like halfway. Oh, halfway. Halfway. Wow. Wow, that's really bad. And you can see you're being ripped off as well. It's not even a surprise. You can see through the lid. Oh my goodness. The As Ever flower sprinkles come in a mix of red, yellow, orange, and blue. Yeah, we know what they are. It's like a cornflower, hibiscus, rose, and I forgot the other one. Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, but they look more like confetti than petals as they didn't seem to have much shape. They smell floral too, even though they're edible, almost the exact scent as the hibiscus tea. Probably the same stuff, to be honest. The flower sprinkles were fine, but they definitely didn't look as pretty as Megan made them seem on the show because I'm sure she didn't use the same stuff. Clearly, this is just your stuff to the public, stuff to the masses. She's not going to give you the real stuff she uses. We felt like they were kind of unnecessary, 100% completely unnecessary, and didn't elevate anything to look much different than it already did. How can it? You're just sprinkling crap on top of other crap. If we didn't know any better, we would think the flower sprinkles were some kind of weird potpourri mix, oh dear, from the 1980s, like the ones your aunt probably keeps in her bathroom. Oh, potpourri. Meghan Markle. And here she is putting it into her biscuits. And some of that, so you can see they're not the flower sprinkles, okay? They're real flowers. So this is just false advertising. Okay, so flower sprinkles, another bow bow. No good. We're not going to be buying them. Honestly, a tin half full, that is really bad. This is her product launch. She can't even fill it up now. It's only going to go lower from here on in. All right, next up, we have number four. Number four on the countdown is this, the crap mix. Sorry, I mean crepe mix. Or do I mean crap mix? Let's find out, shall we? Because remember, Meghan Markle was reminded of backpacking through France, possibly in one of her daydreams. Let's find out how this went. Okay, this is $14. This is $14. How many crepes do you get out of this, I wonder? Thankfully, Megan also included, thankfully, some baked goods in her Rolodex of as ever products, like this $14 crap mix that she said reminded her of her time backpacking through France as a student. Never happened. Never. Where's the photos? You would have photos of yourself backpacking. You'd have heaps of photos. So many photos. Just like if you had a baby, you'd have photos of yourself in the hospital. Like these are memories to remember. You would have hard evidence waiting for it, Megan. We are waiting. Biting into these street side thin pancakes filled with chocolate, fruit, fresh lemon, and powdered sugar, or made savory with ham and cheese. I wouldn't be making that savory. They truly are a canvas for flavor. I wanted to bring that memory and experience to you at home. Also, they're so easy to make, she wrote in a recent newsletter. Excuse me, Megs. We beg to differ. Oh, okay. We're not sure if it was our lack of baking skills or the recipe itself, probably the recipe, but we ran into a ton of trouble. Oh, how hard can this be? Besides their yummy vanilla smell, it was overall a sticky, messy, and frankly gross thing to whip up, at least for us. Oh my gosh, this is scathing. Because I had to get someone else to try it, when another dailymail.com colleague attempted to make the mix, they also had some difficulty. Oh gosh. One person said it took them 6 tries to get it right. 6 tries? How much is that going to cost you? Oh my gosh. Columnist Maureen Callahan, I wouldn't be putting my name in this, you're going to get absolutely stalked, described the final product as something that resulted in a flavor and mouthfeel most akin to undercooked pancakes. Well, does that surprise you? Other tastes, she'll just say that they didn't cook it properly. This is an easy one to sweep under the rug. Other taste testers describe the flavors as nothing special, kind of like Meghan Markle, nothing special, and bland. Again, that's just Meghan Markle, suggesting that it would be easier and tastier to make them from scratch. Yeah, of course. It's like 3 ingredients. It's like they're either undercooked or burnt and no in between, one Daily Mail writer said. Okay, well, the crap mix lives up to its name. Complete crap mix, we could call it. Okay, we are moving on to number 3 in the countdown for this product review, and it is dun dun dun, dun, this slop. Okay, now that looks chunkier than what I've seen before, but look how tiny that jar is, looking smaller and smaller every time I see it. Okay, we have heard some of this, but let's just refresh our memories on how bad this was. Number 3, raspberry spread in keepsake useless packaging for $14. Of course, the piece de resistance of this entire launch was Megan's raspberry spread, which came in a special keepsake packaging for $14 in the first drop. The confection, which Megan has cheesily, she's very cheesily, very cheesy, described as her jam. Jam is my jam. many times, has had much hype surrounding the launch as she sent 50 jars. Did she send 50 jars? Last year to famous friends, not her friends, such as Chrissy Teigen under the company's former name, American Riviera Orchard. We need to stop talking about that. It's just a disaster. But make no mistake, her brand has now been rebranded to As Ever, and the company claims that the raspberry fruit spread is inspired by the recipe Megan crafted in her home kitchen. Now, I just wonder if this spread is the same recipe as what she had for the ARO stuff. I can't remember it being runny. The Duchess previously explained in an episode of her Netflix show that her preserves can't technically be called jam because jam is equal parts sugar and fruit. Yeah, well, okay, can I just say, you should know that going into this. If your hero product is going to be a jam, which isn't that hard to make. It's just about taking the time to make it. Okay, a ton of fruit, sugar, lemon juice, and just, boil it up or whatever. Just cook it for a long time until it gets the consistency. You would know a basic recipe is equal parts, right? Wouldn't you know that? And now she's just realizing this woman cannot cook at all. This is so obvious. I just don't think you can taste the fruit that way, she suggested on the show. So, Meghan Markle, who is an amateur, a novice, doesn't know anything about being in the kitchen, okay, except washing the dishes maybe, or writing a letter to tell people that women shouldn't be in the kitchen. And now she's in the kitchen, but now she's telling people that that's actually not a good recipe. The famous jam recipe that everyone uses all over the world, which is equal parts sugar and fruit. You can't taste the fruit, says Meghan Markle. So she goes and creates this runny slop that apparently now you can taste the fruit. Oh, she's just a disaster. Per Food and Wine, jam is regulated by the FDA and it must come from a single fruit containing at least 45% fruit and 55% sugar. Okay, well, that's not equal parts, but anyway. However, despite all the hype surrounding the product, Female was not impressed. We know exactly these guys are not impressed. We've seen this, but it's just hilarious. Immediately upon opening the jar, we were taken aback by its texture. Now, taken aback is never good. No one's ever been taken aback and it's been a happy, good, good vibe. Okay, that means you are shocked beyond belief, you're disgusted, basically. The spread was very liquid and quite thin, a bit loose, if you will. Gosh. These words that they're using to describe these products are just reminding me of Meghan Markle. I have to say, bland, loose. Oh dear. If we hadn't known better, we'd have thought it melted during its expedited journey to us. That being said, it is described by the brand as including a hint of lemon and a fluid texture. Yeah, fluid, like running water. Basically, look at that. Again, that is, I'm not going to say too much, but that just looks disgusting. I don't think I need to say anymore. Look at that. Look at that. Typically, a jar of jam is thicker and sticks together and is edible, whereas when we stuck our spoon into Megan's raspberry spread, its consistency dripped off the silverware like a sauce. It was unappealing to say the least. As for the taste, it's extremely sweet, and we mean really sweet. Now, she's just said that she didn't want to put equal parts sugar and fruit because you can't taste the fruit, and everyone is saying that this is super sweet. So, what has she done? What is her recipe? I don't understand what she's done with this. How did she go so wrong? How can you mess up a jam? Only Meghan Markle could mess up something as basic as a jam. It is reminiscent of a sugary raspberry dessert sauce rather than a jam or spread that's meant to be eaten on a piece of toast. The flavour was also surprisingly strong, which meant we could taste the sour lemon in the spread, which Megan had promised. in the product's description. Oh, it sounds disgusting. I'm so glad I didn't buy any of this. After trying it by the spoonful, that's a bad idea, which left us grimacing from the sweetness, we spread some on a toasted piece of sourdough, which is where things began to take a turn for the worse. It was difficult to eat the spread with the toast, as it was so thin that it dribbled everywhere and made a mess. Our once nicely toasted piece of bread became a sopping wet disaster after just a few minutes, just like the one that I did in my last video. If you haven't seen that, check out my last video, which is Meghan Markle's tactics of manipulation. And right at the start, I show you exactly what will happen if you use Meghan Markle's liquidy spread on a piece of toast. Drizzled over vanilla ice cream, a piece of pie, or a big stack of pancakes, the spread may work and may even shine. But on its own, or eaten as one would expect to be able to enjoy jam, that's the problem, it's people's expectations, the product crumbled, or rather dripped, under the pressure. Oh dear. Okay, that's meant to be the hero product. That should be the best product. It has to be the best product, and it's not. Okay, it's number 3, and I think they're being generous there because they're all crap, so they couldn't figure out which was the worst. Next up, number 2 in the countdown, which is not bad, is the honey. The honey. Now, this also has honeycomb. I don't know where she's getting this. I've tried to figure this out. It's certainly not from her her garden, her beehive. Okay, I think she's been down to her beehive probably twice ever. I think that guy just looks after her bees and she just, I don't know, says hi to him every now and then. That's about it. Okay, so let's hear how this one went. Limited edition wildflower honey with honeycomb. Female was lucky enough to get our hands on Megan's limited edition $28. That is very steep. Wildflower honey with honeycomb, a product that was so popular it accidentally oversold. I really don't think that's possible these days, but okay, Meghan Markle, sure. She's a complete liar, so I don't know. Should we believe that? The precious jar of honey was the last thing to arrive in our order and came packaged in a 9-ounce jar with the signature as ever branding on it. Probably the sticker isn't very good either. Female was quite divided on this product. While some of us thought it was great, others didn't like the waxy taste of the honeycomb. Oh, okay. It's not meant to taste waxy, is it? One thing's for sure though, it is that it definitely leaves a super strong wildflower aftertaste in your mouth. Oh, that's not sounding good. Though overall, we think that the honey deserves second place as it was pretty tasty and non offensive. Non offensive. So they're saying it's okay because it's not offensive. The honeycomb made it feel more decadent, even though it was a bit plastic tasting. So, plastic, not offensive. I mean, these are not words that you use when you really like something. In terms of Megan's offerings, this is the one that felt the most luxe, something we think she should stick with. Well, she obviously can't source it, so. But for $28, you're probably better off finding some honey at your local farmer's market. 100%. 100%. At least you know what's in it. And it should not taste plastic. That is a problem. Stop eating something if it tastes like plastic. That's the usual advice I would have thought. Okay, and number 1, the last item on the list, the best item allegedly is the shortbread cookie mix. Now, personally, I don't think you should be putting dried flowers into these biscuits. I think that would be gross, but look, she's done it. So here we go, $14 for the shortbread cookie mix with probably the tiniest bag ever of flour sprinkles, which she probably just took out of all the tins of the flour sprinkles, hence why they're all half full. Now for the grand finale and ultimate winner, the shortbread cookie mix with flour sprinkles. These cookies were definitely a home run. Okay, they love them, as everyone from our team thoroughly enjoyed them. While we admit that the dough was quite annoying, quite annoying, actually really annoying. Okay. Honestly, some of these descriptive words are just like what you would say about Meghan Markle. She is very annoying. To make Annoying to make, involving a 1 hour chill time in the fridge, that is annoying, and sharp flour sprinkles, cut your mouth. The end result was the most worth it out of all the products that Megan sells. Okay, this is not good because her hero product should be her raspberry spread. Her second one should be her flour sprinkles, but it's not. It's a shortbread cookie mix. This is not good for a duchess. Do you think? She instructs to add 2 sticks of softened butter to the mix and then let the dough chill in the fridge for a minimum of 1 hour. So you've got to add your own butter as well, by the way. That's not coming in the box for $14. The dough was easy enough to mix up, but it was so hard to mold as it kept crumbling in our hands, which ended up being covered in slippery butter by the end. That is annoying. However, the slightly tedious process was worth it as the shortbread cookie was pretty tasty. Although we burned the first batch, these guys are useless. How do you burn that? The dough made a lot of cookies, the rest of which we baked to golden brown perfection. The cookies tasted like any other shortbread cookie, nice and light and very buttery. They were also very soft, which we appreciated, and they stayed extremely fresh overnight. Okay. The final result truly tasted like a perfect shortbread cookie. This fun mix was where Megan really shined. I mean, this is embarrassing though. Even if you think, okay, isn't it good that the shortbread cookie mix went well? Yeah, but shortbread cookie mix, like this is where she's at. This is terribly embarrassing. It wasn't anything special, but it would be fun to make if you have little kids, as the packet of flour sprinkles poured into the dough add a fun and whimsical touch, even though it looks like potpourri. Can I just tell you, kids, okay, they might have fun pouring it in. They're not going to have fun eating it. You might as well just get actual sprinkles, okay, like hundreds and thousands, or I don't know, chocolate drops or something that kids would enjoy to eat as well as pour into a bowl. That's not enough for me to want to buy this, okay? And they keep referring to it as potpourri, which is not helping. Okay, the final verdict. All in all, Megan's as ever line is nothing to write home about. She doesn't write home anyway. It's fine, but definitely not worth the price tag unless you're a Meghan Markle fan. Well, I thought this woman was. Maybe she's not anymore. A handful of the products, like the hibiscus tea, flower sprinkles, and raspberry spread, miss the mark. Miss the Markle. Those items can definitely be improved in the next launch if Megan continues with the line. If she continues with the line, they're not sure. But besides those standouts, everything else is just okay. It's not good. It's not bad. It's just fine. That's not a good review, Meghan Markle. This is not good. This is terrible. And is she going to be improving the products? I don't think so. I think she's just ordering more. She's like, yep, turn on that jam machine, whatever it's called, hit that conveyor belt, let's do another run. She's not changing these. She hasn't got time for that. She just wants your money, guys. A lot of the products are things that we've all seen before, and female agrees that we wouldn't purchase any of these products again. See, that's the problem. Megan, you're not going to make your $1 billion if people just buy your products once, hate them, and then that's it. It doesn't work like that. You're not going to get a billion people to buy your stuff, including the shortbread cookies. They wouldn't even buy the shortbread cookies, even though they were the best. Wow, even though they were the tastiest. That's bad. Megan might want to work on a rebrand going forward. No doubt she will rebrand. That's a given. That's definitely going to happen. But what about an exclusive as ever picnic basket filled with things to make a children's birthday party sparkle? Oh, don't give her ideas. As she demonstrated in the Netflix episode filmed with comedian Mindy Kaling, or a baked donut mix with a vanilla glaze as seen on TV. I mean, who cares? She hasn't done it, so let's see what else she does. But hey, what do we know? After all, jam is her jam, as ever. Oh, that's a bit of a dig at the end, I think. So there you have it. That is the Daily Mail's product review. All of her products, even the honey. Good on them for getting that honey. But okay, the shortbread cookie mix was the best, but only because the others were all so crap that something had to be the best. But they wouldn't buy any of it ever again. So that's a huge fail, Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle, Duchess of Failure, done it again, consistent if nothing else. So I don't know. What do you think's going to happen with this brand? I can't see how this is going to survive if this is the kind of feedback that's coming through. Let's wait and see. So guys, thank you so much for listening. Please like and subscribe and I will keep these reviews coming. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye.